Gold FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nadi.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottle cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, $80 million to improve Nadi Airport. Arson suspected in cane burning incidents. And preparations in place for PIDF meeting. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Nadi International Airport will get an $80 million facelift. Airports Fiji Limited has awarded the contract to a New Zealand firm, Hawkins Infrastructure. The modernization project was announced last night as the deal was signed. Christopher Chand reports.
Putting pen to paper, the multi-million-dollar deal that's going to change the look and feel of Nadi Airport, aligning it with some of the best in the world.
Construction budget for Hawkins and PBS joint venture is $80 million. The total budget for the Nadi Airport Terminal Modernization Project is $102 million.
Since the groundbreaking last November, it's taken 6 months to finalize a contractor. Hawkins Infrastructure will partner with local company Pacific Building Solutions.
You may ask, why did it take 6 months? It was important to us that we partnered with a contractor that we believe, that will deliver. So it's easy to enter into a contract, but it's the job that comes after that is the most important part of that contract.
Work on the Nadi Airport development will commence within the next month, and the project is expected to be completed within 16 months. The government has also approved a duty-free concession for all materials that will be imported during construction.
Having an airport that is comparable to the other international airports around the world, in itself provides an impetus or an incentive for people to come into Fiji. So we want to be part of that tourism focus.
AFL's healthy bank balance has seen the company secure an $85 million loan from Westpac. By the end of next year, Fiji will boast an airport that will look a little something like this. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The Electoral Commission has assured that people who need assistance during polls will have help at hand. Electoral Commission member Father David Arms says family members won't be allowed to assist in voting. Only one person at a time is allowed in a polling booth, except in the case of a person who requires the assistance from a presiding officer. David Arms says another election official will ensure the presiding officer marks the ballot paper in the way that the voter has directed. Voters who make mistakes get only one replacement ballot paper. Voting starts at 7:30 a.m. and finishes at 6 p.m. on 17 September 2014. 2 men charged for allegedly importing methamphetamine have had their charges amalgamated. Rakesh Prasad Charan, who was deported from the United States, and Shailendra Narayan have both been released on $3,000 bail. Chanel Sivan reports.
Rakesh Prasad Charan was brought to court yesterday with his brother Rajan Prasad Charan and another man, Rajneesh Sharma. He is charged with 1 count of unlawful importation of illicit drugs and 2 counts of unlawful possession of illicit drugs and 1 count of money laundering. Meanwhile, Shailendra Narayan is alleged to have imported methamphetamine with a street value of $350,000, allegedly concealed in chocolate cookies sent from the United States. Both the accused have been ordered to surrender their travel documents and are on strict curfew between 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The Immigration Department have been advised by the court to place Narayan and Charan on the watch list. Charan is ordered to report to the Nosuri police station every Friday, while Narayan is to report to the Nambua police station also on Friday.
Both are to stay at fixed addresses. Any breach of these orders by either of the accused will see them taken into custody. Their case will be called again in the Suva High Court on the 11th of July. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Indonesian President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono arrives in the country tonight for the Second Pacific Islands Development Forum, which begins in Nadi tomorrow. It's the first time the President of Indonesia is visiting Fiji and the Pacific. His arrival also marks 40 years of diplomatic relations between Fiji and Indonesia. The meeting begins tomorrow with the traditional welcome ceremony.
It's the first time that an Indonesian President that is visiting Fiji and the Pacific for that matter. So I think it is a great honor, a great privilege, and it goes to show the recognition that Fiji has in the eyes of this great government of Indonesia, and for the President to be visiting is no small matter. It is a very important and very significant one.
A cane farmer in Lambasa is calling on the government for assistance after his farm was allegedly set on fire just before the crushing season. Muldeo of Nangingi says his farm was destroyed, leaving him with nothing to harvest. Ritika Pratap has more.
Muldeo was hoping to harvest about 250 tons of cane, enough to meet his family needs until next season, but an unexplained fire has left him with nothing.
The farm was set on fire on 29th May at midday. It started from my neighbor's farm, spread to my farm and spread to this other farm beside mine. A lot of us tried to put out the fire but couldn't. These two farmers at least have some crop left. I have nothing at all.
Their claims effort to get help from relevant authorities so far have been futile.
I reported to the police. They said go to the Growers Council. Council gave me a letter to go and get an order for the prisoners to help in the harvesting. The prison officials told me they will cut my cane, but later refused to do so.
Deo isn't the only farmer who has lost his crop as a result of alleged arson in the cane belt. The Sugarcane Growers Council says around 3,000 tons of cane has been burned even before the crushing season began. These are all alleged arsons.
I have nothing left. I used all my incomes to buy 60 bags of fertilizer this year. I have two children. My daughter is in class 3 and my son is in class 7. I was only surviving on the income coming from the cane farm.
SCGC Acting Chief Executive Sundaresh Chetty says there is no scheme to help farmers with burnt cane, but seeing the plight of farmers is putting in a submission to stakeholders. Police in the West have questioned some people in relation to the fires in cane farms. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
After the break, Singatoka market gets a facelift.
Ito Singatoka no talita na warong na radio Fijuan na station yang mutua.
Ako na poro na talita. Mandau talita kia na warong radio Fijuan.
Kitongo isu untuk talita na warong na radio Fijuan station yang mutua.
Kito talita na radio Fijuan. Na radio Fijuan ento talita kita nga Singatoka.
Station in Matino Pinatia na radio Fijuan. Kukuan Beyanyan.
Na Radio Fijuan nandumoy bitin ponga ni BNN.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. 4 families have lost all their belongings in an early morning fire that destroyed a house at Kerimbul in Nadi. The fire is believed to have started at around 5 a.m. and engulfed the entire concrete and wooden structure. The house was divided into 3 flats. 2 were being rented out. Fire trucks stopped the blaze from spreading to nearby houses. The National Fire Authority says they are investigating the cause of the fire. President Ratuepeli Nailatikau has highlighted a number of issues at the 50th anniversary of the Group of 77 in China. It's the largest grouping of developing countries in the United Nations, and its summit is being held in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Ellen Stolz reports.
Founded in 1962, Group 77 and China has a core aim to collectively strengthen the position of developing countries.
We can proceed with confidence, for the group has much to be proud of in what it has achieved over the last half-century. The world is, as a result, a better place. In recent years, in the area of sustainable development, the group has defended the principle of the primacy of open intergovernmental negotiation. We are vigilant in holding our partners, the developed countries, to the outcomes of these negotiations. And we have worked hard to ensure that action-oriented outcomes are globally aimed to benefit those who most require development assistance.
Ratuepeli pointed out the greatest challenges facing humanity right now are climate change, rising sea levels, HIV and AIDS, food security, and increased human migration.
A call is thus made to the Group of 77 and China in this, our 50th year, to address these challenges with every effort and to act progressively within the unity in diversity spirit that is our catchword.
Only 60 of the 193 member states of the United Nations are not members of the Group of 77 and China. In his closing statement, the President stressed that the Group 77 and China is vital in shaping the future direction of the development agenda in the United Nations. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
Fijians in the lower socio-economic scale should be encouraged by various incentives and provided with a good environment. This is exactly what the new Singatoka market is intended to do. Akusita Tale was at the opening and files this report.
The Singatoka market upgrade will improve the agribusiness and push more money into the salad bowl town. The $400,000 investment is expected to attract more vendors and public to the market.
The environment in which they operate in must be a very good environment or salubrious environment where people feel that they are able to sell their products well, and you also attract people to come to the market. If the market is dirty, if the market is not attractive, not many people will come to the market.
Singatoka residents have been reminded that such initiatives will promote Fiji-grown and Fijian-made goods that will benefit the next generation.
If you look at countries that do well, countries that are rich, countries that we look up to and say, oh wow, those people are very lucky, the only reason why they are there today is because their leaders had a vision. Their leaders planned for 10, 15 years. Their leaders did not plan for the next elections. And this is what we should not be doing.
With more initiatives planned for Singatoka in the coming weeks and months, the town itself is expected to be revamped.
One of the other big parts of this is the improvement, the upgrade of the public convenience. A lot of people who have travelled from Suva to Nadi, or even the locals, all complain about the state of the public toilet. So we'd be happy to say that by September that will be a thing of the past.
Not just the market, but the manner in which the entire town is structured. And as we've highlighted before, we will in the next few weeks be putting in place more initiatives to ensure that the town grows.
Extension work has also started at the Nadi market with double-story accommodation for women. Work is also underway at the Lautoka and Sabu-Sabu markets, while Lambasa market is expected to be upgraded next year. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. After the break, updates from the Flying Fijians and Manu Samoa camps and today's results from the FIFA World Cup. This and more coming up.
Talita na Radio Fiji 1 na mwirani nonda bonua.
Ando talita kana borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 Singatoka mbole ni station ni Alumatua.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 station ni Alumatua Lautoka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 Nadi na station ni Alumatua.
Au tuko korbo ando borrongo leve na station ni Alumatua na Radio Fiji 1.
Ando borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 na station ni Alumatua na mandoi tele.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi bitin bonga ni bienani.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Samoan rugby side is out to continue its winning form from last week and make the Flying Fijians its next victim when the two sides meet on Saturday in the next round of the Pacific Nations Cup. The team landed in Ausori Airport in the early hours of this morning and were today given rest and recovery time from the travel. The side will be back into training mode tomorrow with its focus on sticking to the basics.
Eliminate as much errors as we can. I think it's just the little things that are letting us down. I think sometimes we overcomplicate things. We've got professional players who come from different clubs. and they come in with their different mindsets and tend to overcomplicate things. And I think that's where we've had a bit of a downfall. But hopefully this Saturday they go out there and enjoy it.
Meanwhile, Flying Fijians coach John McKee is happy with the depth in the Fijian side and believes they have what it takes to take on the Samoans.
We've got a lot of talent in our back three and our centres and wingers. So, there's a lot of competition for places there, and really, with the players we've got, it doesn't matter who we pick, especially on the wings. There's going to be a lot of threat and a lot of speed.
The match will kick off on Saturday at 3 p.m. at the NZ Stadium in Suva. Meanwhile, in local soccer, the Vodafone Fiji Fact starting on Friday will see a number of new match officials take charge at the first Fiji football tournament of the year. The Fiji Football Association has decided to provide exposure to younger officials in a bid to groom them for the future. Indra Singh has more.
Match officials hold the key for any games, and the first local tournament will see new ones try and make a mark.
The panel, there are quite new referees that has been selected in the panel, and I'm very happy about their performance in the National League game, their Wednesday compulsory training, and of course those who are officiating at local league.
Some big names are missing from the panel chosen, but this doesn't concern Kishore.
Looking at this panel, we have got some very new upcoming referees, those who have officiated in the National League, and we have given them the break, the much needed break, and I'm pretty much sure that they are going to do a wonderful job in this tournament.
The World Cup, which is currently underway, has seen referees try and maintain the high standards, and Fiji will be no different.
There were a few senior referees that did not turn up for the fitness test. Some of them were sick, so I had to go forward with the new ones, and those who have selected will be officiating this.
So it's all left with the referees and their assistants to ensure they control the games to the best of their abilities. After all, it's they who can sometimes make or break matches. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
National Athletics rep Eugene Volma is relishing the opportunity to participate in the Commonwealth Games in Scotland next month. The former Maris Brothers High School student currently holds the national record in the triple jump with a distance of 12.08 meters set in 2012. He says representing Fiji at the meet is a dream come true.
It's definitely a special moment because in Form 6 I really wanted to make it to the Commonwealth Games, but unfortunately that didn't happen because of unforeseen circumstances. I had a diary in Form 6. I wrote down there SPG, Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games. So this Commonwealth Games would definitely be a tick in that box, and just basically my build-up and end goal for the Olympic Games. So it is a special moment.
Volma is part of the national squad that will participate at the Oceania Championships in the Cook Islands from the 24th to the 26th of June as a build-up to the Glasgow Games next month. That was your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Yet another day gone, and it's weather time now with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Looking at today's map with Suva, the only center with cloudy skies and scattered showers in the morning and cloudy skies also in the afternoon. The rest of the centers, Nadi, Lotoka, Savu and Lambasa, all had fine weather all throughout the day. For today's temperatures, we had Suva on 27, Nadi and Savu were on 28, Lotoka on 29, whereas Ba on 30 and Lambasa the only one that hit 32. Tonight, the temperatures will drop to a 17 for Ba, Lotoka, Nadi, Singatoka and Tavua. Tomorrow's forecast, Suva might have cloudy skies with a few occasional showers in the morning and cloudy skies later in the afternoon. Savu with fine weather in the morning and cloudy skies also later in the afternoon. All the rest centers, Nadi, Lotoka, Ba and Lambasa will have fine weather all day. For mariners, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots and moderate swells. Image of the day is of Waindingi Island, sent in by Viniza Lazar.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping the headlines, $80 million to improve Nadi Airport, arson suspected in cane-burning incidents, and preparations in place for PIDF meeting from tomorrow. This week's poll question, we're asking, do we need more political parties to contest the election? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news for tonight. The team and I will be back tomorrow evening. Until then, stay safe. Ni modo mamba.
Gold FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nadi.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Batu Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.